Hello, everyone. How is it going? Welcome to Essential Workplace Upgrades webinar series. I'm Jeremy, your moderator for today's session. Of course, this event is brought to us by Filmetrics Corporation, now on its 10th year. Filmetrics is a 100% Filipino company that provides asset and identification management solutions to its partners nationwide. If it's biometrics, that you need, mobile system and data analytics, or all of it in one package, it must be Filmetrics. Remember, Filmetrics, connecting identities. Now, let's get down to the topic and the business. Uh, let's talk about upgrades. Yes, upgrades that are essential to our workplace during or post COVID-19 pandemic. In this episode, the following will be highlighted. First, employing mobile systems for remote working situations. Also, we will talk about what is expected from touchless technology moving forward. Another one is the systems and technology we can procure to address safety and health at work. Well, would like to include your voice in the conversation, be part of this. So we'd like to hear from you. Feel free to share your thoughts, comment, ask questions, and even challenge our ideas. And for those who'd like to join the fun, remember that you must be logged into your social media accounts. And that is in order for you to utilize and access the comment section below. So again, feel free to use it anytime during the session, all right? And we will try our best to address as many as we can within the time that is allotted for us in this webinar. All right. I think before we move on, it's just right for us to acknowledge our viewers and participants for this afternoon. So who do we have today? I believe we have our partners as well, representatives. We have professionals and experts from different sectors, right? All over the country, yes, nationwide. So hi to you guys. Hope all is well and all is good there. So just sit back, relax, and try again to be part of this conversation, this session, all throughout. And I can assure you that it will be worth it. All right. Okay. So again, shout out to everyone and thank you. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Okay. All right. So I think we can already proceed. And uh, for us to get down to our content, I think we should be introduced first to our featured speakers for today. All right. So let's have them. First, one of the department heads and the business development manager of Filmetrics Corporation, we have today Mr. Joey Ramos. Hi,
Hello,
sir.
everyone. Yeah,
Sir
good
Joey.
afternoon, and we're glad to join us here in our webinar for today.
All right. And also joining us today is a sales executive, also under the business development department of Filmetrics Corporation. Let's give it up for Mr. John Francis Reyes.
Good afternoon, everyone,
Hi, Sir
and let
Franz.
me know how we can help you later through these upgrades. Thank you.
All right, all good? Okay, great, great.
All right.
And of course, the last but not the least, sales supervisor under the business development department of Filmetrics Corporation, none other than Mr. Jose Leonardo. Sir Leonardo,
Hi everyone. Good afternoon.
hi. Hope everything is going well. Are we good there? How's the weather?
Everything's fine. It's gloomy. It's about to rain,
Okay.
but everything's
Uh,
good.
all right, great, great. So what a start. It's such a pleasure to be joined by these professionals here, these experts. And I will not waste any more of your time. I want to proceed right away to the reason why we are all here today. And to warm things up, to these experts right here. So, to any one of you, let me ask, how has this pandemic disrupted the operations in your respective company? And have you done to, or what have you done to mitigate the impact and prepare your company for recovery and growth?
All right, Jeremy, I'd like to address that first question.
Yes, please.
All right. So first of all, we have to realize, we have to understand, and we have to accept that nobody was prepared for this kind of crisis,
Right.
where it has affected a lot of businesses, from small to large companies. Well, the impact would vary from industry to industry, and of course, the financial status of the companies. Say, obviously, the most hit industry right now are the hospitality sectors, hotels, restaurants,
Correct.
resorts, and tourist destinations, airlines. So these are mainly because of the lockdown and the travel restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have to look on the financial status of the company. We have seen companies with limited to no business operations. And of course, companies with extra funds would likely to survive.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, we have witnessed also closure of some companies. So it's also very important to find the means to reduce the impact of this pandemic. So nobody is exempted on this crisis. So we just need to
Exactly.
find a way to reduce the impact.
Mm-hmm.
So for our case, in the first phase of the lockdown, we focus on sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
So on how we can be able to support first the welfare of our employees.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Yes, and then we plan for business continuity because we have to survive the business, no? And how to transform and pivot to the new normal and what opportunities we can explore. And as an IT company that develops solutions and products, and with our expertise and experience in the biometrics technology over the last 10 years, we believe that this is our strength and our advantage. So we
Mm-hmm.
capitalize on this to make use of our skills to introduce products and innovation that would help prevent the spread of this virus as essential technology upgrades in the workplace. So recovery for most companies are actually on this level right now, on this stage right now. But for growth, probably that would take a while.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I could share based on our experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um, in addition to what Sir Joey has mentioned, actually, yes, I agree. We are widely affected by this pandemic. Since Filmetrics Corporation kasi, we're a service provider, and the project that we have is providing services, like for example with SSS, with Post Postal ID capturing. So manpower and production is widely affected by this pandemic. So the sales went down. So we need to find another way to generate our sales within this situation, this current situation. So due to the ECQ or the enhanced community quarantine, what we've done, we were able to develop and produce new product lines that will help all types of industries to keep their business running and in full operation. So yun yung ginawa namin during this period of time. And also, we found a way to divert and monitor operations digitally since one of the specialties ni Filmetrics is in system integration and innovating new technologies and new ideas. Ayun.
All right, very well said, Sir Leonardo and Sir Joey. So there, you mentioned or highlighted the challenges that we
Mm-hmm.
are facing right now. Okay, since there are areas wherein ECQ have been lifted already, and many offices there will start its operations, or at least have started for some. Are there any gadgets that can be used or technologies that can be upgraded to prevent or lessen the exposure of the employees to the virus or this virus that we are facing now? Also, there are, or I'm wondering if there are any ways that we can monitor who will continue to work remotely.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Jeremy. So yeah, to help lessen the exposure of this virus, so we need to reduce the occasions of contacts.
All
So as
right.
potential risk, yes. Because
Mhm.
as we know, the virus are being spread through contacts.
All right. All right.
So
Okay.
basic example. When you enter your respective offices, so the first thing you do is to what? Of course, time in as your attendance. And we commonly use what? What kind of biometrics? Fingerprint. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to put our finger in the flat glass and then scan a fingerprint and time in. And another person's come does the same and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So what essential upgrades can be used? No?
Mm-hmm.
So this time we would like to introduce Ident Pro. It's a touch-free login logout that uses facial recognition technology. So for quick
Okay.
and easy to use daily time record system, which is completely safe and secure. So this is some of the features that we can introduce to the market. And the
All right.
application is also available in mobile devices now for employees who are working from home.
All right. Having said that, first, I want to talk about engagement. Okay. This kind of setup, like the work from home setup, is new to everyone. You mentioned biometric time in, time out, which is something that we cannot, or apparently, we cannot utilize now. So, uh, what are the ways that we can wherein we can keep our talents or our employees engaged or motivated during this period of time, and is there anything that you can share with us on how to or how to better adjust or cope with this situation?
So Jeremy, there's a lot of negativity around. So I think key is setting the right mindset and having that positive attitude. Okay. So while many of us right now are in the work from home, so in this setting, the challenge really is how to draw the line between work and family. So in our experience in Filmetrics, a lot of us at the beginning of the lockdown were actually burned out, no? Because we could not separate work from family time. So
I
to
see.
somehow settle that, we encourage everyone, employees of Filmetrics, to as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible finish and stop work at around 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep them engaged and adapt to the new normal, we introduce technologies, platforms, video conferencing platforms like Google Meet, Zoom, for checkpoint meeting, for our
Mm-hmm.
internal webinar, in fact, for our town hall. Town hall is our way to inform our employees about the
Mm-hmm.
direction of the company, activities that we have done in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, we immediately shifted to facial recognition technology for our attendance. So this using a web browser. So employees working at home can easily time in and time out using this platform, using this technology.
All right, all right. So you mentioned there, so town hall meetings, uh, group or gatherings there. We already have solutions for that, like those
Mhm.
Zooms, Google Meet, and everything, right?
Yes.
And also earlier we mentioned about timekeeping, like timing in, timing out, and I have a feeling that we are going to hear something, a solution for that in this situation today, right? I
Yes.
think you mentioned earlier some kind of a program, a software, Lilo, if I'm not mistaken. So, would you like to let us know more about it, Sir Joey or Sir Franz or Leonardo?
At this point, I would like to take this opportunity to demonstrate to you the recent
Great.
product we have launched, Iden Pro Lilo. So I'd like to give the floor to Francis Reyes for the demonstration.
All right.
All right.
Sir Franz, take
All
it
right.
away.
So thank you for the introduction, Mr. Joey Ramos. And I also want to thank all the viewers in this webinar. So as we move forward towards new normal, one of the things that we should consider upgrading in this workplace is how we monitor the time and attendance of our employees, especially if you're using a biometric technology. With this, let me reintroduce Adrian Pro Lilo. This is an advanced version of biometric technology that is connected in a cloud server that would perfectly fit in both work from home and office-based setup.
Mm-hmm.
And now, let me show you how it works and how your company would benefit with this kind of upgrade.
Very interesting. So we'd like to see more about that. I'm sure all of the viewers that we have today, this afternoon, would love to know more about it. And I'm sure that this will be somehow a solution in one of the things that are challenging them right now, or all of us right now.
So I have to close my camera here from the streaming so I can demonstrate the other platform.
All right, it's okay. No worries.
So in this demonstration, the whole process can only be done in three steps. First is the registration of employee. The second one is the actual transaction of logging in and logging out. And the third one, and how we will view the reports in our transactions. So in this page, you'll see in the upper left side the company's information, the company name, and company code, which is needed to access the employee's platform later. And here in the upper right side, you will see the account status. And in the middle, the employee's information, employee list with their status. And to start with this, let's try to register an employee. So to those who are available in the office, they can just simply take a photo here and encode their information. If they have an existing employee ID, they can just simply copy it or register it here with their name. And for those who are working from home, they can also we can also register them here and can be completed by simply taking a selfie on their respective smartphone using employees platform. So in this case, I'm already registered. So I'm also uh, verified. My account is already verified. So you see, that's how flexible the registration process in this platform. So once
Mhm.
done with the registration, we will see in the account status if the registration is verified, which means the employees are able to complete the registration process by taking a selfie and pre-registered if the employees are not done yet in submitting their selfies. And for the employee to be able to use the employees portal, so as an admin who's using this platform or HR, they should activate the accounts of the employee. They are newly registered here and provide the company information like your like company code and employee ID for the employee to be able to access the employee's platform. So I will show you what was done before my account get verified because it seems here that I'm already verified. So this is the employee platform. You just have to encode the company code and the employee ID. This is actually the web version. This platform can be accessed to your mobile phone browser. So whenever or wherever your employees are, they can just access their account to complete the registration and do the transactions anytime, anywhere. This is also perfectly fit for those employees who's working in the field. So let me show you in the mobile version how it was done before my account get verified. So same thing, I have to encode the company code and employee ID, then click register, then take a selfie, then click capture and register. So that's how easy it is. Then you'll see the notification that your registration is successful. And now, what if we try to register with different employee ID? So let's change the employee ID here. Then it will tell you that the other employee's ID is already registered or you cannot access it. What if the employee ID you are trying to access is not fully registered yet? So let's see what's going to happen. Then take a photo. Then submit. So you see, there will be a prompt message that this face is already registered. That's how the duplication process works. This is used to avoid the multiple records with the same photo. And now, let's try to do some transaction. So we're now in the step 2 by doing the actual transaction. And let's relog in my account. So my employee ID 003, then log in. So as you can see here, though I mentioned a while ago that if the admin or HR should activate the account of their employee to be able for the employees to access this employee's platform. Let's assume that I'm already activated. So let's see what's going to happen. All right, so this is the actual user interface where we can do the transactions. We can select whether we want to log in or log out. So let's try to do some transaction. So we just have to place our face, then click a transaction. All right, so now let's proceed to log out. So that's how easy it is. All right, we can also check here the transaction or the transaction logs together with its date and timestamp. This will also be recorded to the reports in the admin portal. So that's how it works for remote workers who are at home or at field. And then let us proceed on how we can practice health safety protocol using Lilo in the office for time and attendance, and to show you how we can avoid the possible spread of virus. I believe some of you are still using a traditional biometrics like fingerprint scanner, wall-mounted biometrics, or even face recognition, which requires your employees to touch the screen or button of the device to complete their transactions or log in and log out. And so I'm going to show you how the Lilo Office version, which is completely touchless, fast, and hassle-free. And to do that, let us go back here to the admin platform. Then we will see in the right side the QR code. This QR code is important for the office-based employee because it has employees' credentials for them to be able to log in and log out. Just a quick background. Before this ECQ, in our company, we are already using face recognition for login and log out. And to complete the transaction, we must click or we need to click the screen, the in and out from the screen, which is now not advisable. That is why instead of clicking the transactions, which will require physical contact with the device, we try to change the process and convert the physical button into QR code. So this Lilo platform will generate 2 QR codes for login and logout. So where the employees can needed to transact later. So this is the sample generated QR code, as you can see in the screen. Okay, so right now, by the way, it has 2 options to generate QR code. One is through this platform, the admin platform. The admin can generate the QR code and forward this QR code to employee, or the employee can generate their own QR code through this platform. We called it QR code generator. They just have to enter the company code and employee ID, then click download QR code. Then you will see the available QR code for this employee. Then click download. And this is actually printable. If your employee want to print this out and attach it with their ID or any material that they want to attach this, can be done. So okay, let's us proceed on how we do the transactions.
Mhm.
So for the touchless transactions, it's very easy. So as an employee, we just have to scan the QR code available here, then face match it with face. So right now I'm trying to log in. Then after I'm scanning the QR code, I have to place my face on the image frame. So wala
Mhm.
pang 2 seconds, I'm done with the transaction. But how fast it is. Then let's try to log out using different QR code. Then place the face in the image frame. So it's completely touchless, easy and fast. Bilis lang, di ba? And then now,
Yeah.
let's proceed to the step 3, which is the report generation. So we just have to click this report from this admin platform, and you will see the real-time transactions here. You can also filter the transactions if you want to, with the date or with the specific name of employee, or with the number of entries we want to display in the screen. You can also view the location of where the transactions happen. So let's try to check it out. So, ayan. This is so accurate that your employees cannot deceive you about where they are at a specific time. This
Oh.
geotagging feature is perfect if you want to monitor the employee's activity outside, especially the location they last visited when they log in or log out. So let's go back to the admin portal. So we can also export the reports here by clicking this button. It's export logs. This is actually a CSV format or Excel format. Let's check the sample. Alright. Nakita niyo naman, no? So let's go back to the
Mhm.
platform. So, yeah. So what if my employee is no longer connected to the company? What
Good
do I need to
question.
do? Okay. So for them to be able, uh, for the HR, they just have to deactivate their accounts here. So the employee can no longer access the employee's platform.
All
That's
right.
how easy it is. See, so I suggest this is a perfect upgrade on our daily time recording system during and after this quarantine. And if you don't have one, you must adopt this kind of upgrades. And that's all about
Mhm.
for Ident Pro Lilo. Thank you very much.
All right. Nice
All right.
presentation there. Wow. Um, very detailed. Of course, we'd like to know more about it, but we don't have much time for that. Anyways, I think you were able to show to us how it works, and not
Mhm.
only how it works, how easy it works, right? So, thanks, Sir Franz, for that. But with that being said or discussed, can you please enlighten us more? What are the difference or the pros and cons of between the traditional wall mount biometric type DTRS, the two type, right? And the one that you have just shown us.
Um, yes, good question. Actually, there's a lot of people asking about the differences between the one that we're promoting and the one that is they're familiar with or the traditional one. Kasi yung traditional one, I mean, maybe they're used dun sa wall mount biometrics, or the
Yes.
Van de Klerk that they're used to. First, siguro, I'll speak with the advantages na lang siguro of Idenprolilo, the one
Yes,
that we're
please.
promoting. So first, when it comes to availability or getting reports, since Idenprolilo is real-time and cloud-based, mas mabilis natin. In one click, available na kagad yung reports. Kasi dun sa wall mount, what's happening there is the log or the data stays in the device itself. So, yung ginagawa ni timekeeping is kinukuha niya manually yung reports and tina-transfer niya into Excel for it to become a report for timekeeping, for payroll. So that's what's happening. Manually transferring everything from the device to Excel to report to
Yes.
payroll. But
Which
in our
takes time,
case,
right?
it's automatic. Yes, it's
Mhm.
automatic. So one is availability. Second is updates versus upgrades. So,
Mhm.
of course, when you need to upgrade or once na nasira yung device natin or yung wall mount device na ginagamit natin, what's happening is kailangan natin palitan the entire device, 'di ba? In our part, with Idenprolilo, since it's cloud-based, no need to change everything if you need to update or if you need to upgrade. We just need to update it. No need to change everything. No need to change the device. No need to change the hardware itself. All we need to do is to update and interconnected if you want to integrate it with other systems.
Mhm.
Second is mobility. So mobility, since like what Franz mentioned earlier, is that we included geotagging with Idenprolilo. So it's better. Like for example, there are companies who is actually deploying their staff, not just remotely but even in field work, so they can easily monitor supervisors, managers. They can easily manage and monitor their employees, their whereabouts, and saan sila nag-time in. So, yun kasi yung mahalaga. Like, for example, I've been doing sales ever since. And before, ginagawa ko din yun na nagta-time in ako, pero nasa bahay pa. So now, with this platform, it'll be easier for us to monitor those kung nasan ba talaga sila during that time period na nag-time in. Lastly, nakagandahan sa kanya is that it follows the guidelines of DOLE and DTI, which is contactless, and it is safe but secure. So that's what we're promoting here.
So I'd like
All
to
right.
add, Yuri.
Yes, Sir Joey,
On the
please.
other hand, what are the common issues or problems that we encounter for a wall mount, the traditional wall mount biometrics type, the box type devices? Number one is corrupted logs. So we
Mhm.
Yes,
normally
it also has
encounter
unlimited
or
logs.
experience missing logs. No,
Mhm.
we happen to experience employees na lalapit sa HR na walang logs. No, so these are the common issue. No, and of course,
Exactly.
yung hard to read fingerprints. No, so may mga complaints din tayo na-receive na nakakailang try sila to scan their fingerprints pero hindi
Mm.
talaga ina-accept.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Exactly.
yep,
Those with too much moist or
yep, yep,
other skin problems. It's really an issue, actually. Yes.
yes. And besides, the box types are limited in transactions. So you can only
Yes, the
accommodate
storage is
certain number
limited.
of logs. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. 1,000 logs, 15,000 logs. So what happen is if napuno siya, you have to delete. So it's
Mm-hmm.
quite
Delete,
inconvenience for the user.
fresh.
And of course, merong wear and tear yung mga biometrics na wall mounts. So,
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 years, you have to replace kasi nasisira din talaga siya.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly right now is yung hygiene. No? So this is a big issue right now because of the
Yes.
issue of spread of virus. It's not really hygienic to use fingerprint type biometrics because really you have to put your fingerprint dun sa biometrics.
Mm-hmm.
And many experts are telling us or saying that there could be a slide dun sa applications ng fingerprint biometric devices no, because of issue of hygiene and yun nga, yung sanitation and the
Yeah.
corruption possibility to get the virus from these kind of devices.
Yes. And Jeremy, in addition lang kay to what Sir Joey has mentioned earlier,
Yes.
because many of my clients, they're actually the reason why they're getting Idenprolilo is that they have these experiences that when the device is corrupted, all the data is corrupted. So they have no basis at all for payroll, for timekeeping. And ang mangyayari is nakatenga. I mean, si HR yung mamamblema when it comes to
Mhm.
payroll for the timekeeping of all employees. Saan sila kukuha ng data? So now, with our system, since it's real time, it will be saved real time din dun sa ating server or database ng company.
Mhm. So you
So
can
additionally,
access
gusto
that.
ko lang din idagdag, Jeremy.
Yes,
I
please,
forgot
Sir Joey.
to share that, of course, yun nga, we go back to mobility. If you want to use fingerprint attached to your mobile phone, so you need a separate scanner for that.
Yes,
So,
yes,
i-attach
yes.
mo siya dun sa mobile phone, so dun ka magti-fingerprint. No? Of course,
Mhm.
for a mobile phone, no, for facial recognition, you just no need to you don't need to do such things, no? Kasi
Mhm.
embedded na sa mobile devices yung camera. So just make use of the camera, no? So it's very convenient, no? So as I have seen, as you have seen dun sa demonstrations namin, we're just utilizing camera po ng mga mobile devices natin.
Alright.
Exactly. Especially now, I think it's safe to say that maybe 95% of the population has his or her own mobile phone,
Yeah.
right?
And
Okay,
everybody
very
is connected na rin naman sa internet eh. So just of
exactly.
course you need internet to use this kind of technology.
Hmm. All right.
And yeah.
Yes, anything else that you like to add?
So siguro yun lang we just
Mhm.
uh, presenting the technology that we have developed no,
Hmm.
over the last few weeks that we have been into a few months that we have been into lockdown.
Hmm.
Right.
Which is very good. That's very timely and definitely the solution that we need now from the challenges that were mentioned earlier. Talking about data security, time saving process, real time when it comes to gathering those data of the employees. What else? Mobility. Okay, you can access it anytime, anywhere, as long as you have your mobile phone, you're connected to the internet.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Real time access, like what I told you earlier. If I am a timekeeping officer and I need to get an employee's time in or time out transaction data, I can already access that directly, right? Even I encounter blackouts or probably uh, internet connection problem, it's still there. It's stored right away in the database, right? Okay. And the most important thing for this situation that we are facing right now, when it comes to DOLE and
Mhm.
DTI protocols and guidelines, we are definitely compliant with these things that you have presented. Lilo, right?
Yeah.
Lilo,
Yes, Lilo.
and I like the sound of it, actually. All right, I'm sure a
Mhm.
lot of viewers can relate to that right now.
Actually,
And
Lilo is short for log in log out.
Yeah.
oh, I didn't notice that. Wow. Thank you
Yes.
for telling me that, Sir Joey Lilo. But yeah, it saves you time when it comes to saying log in, log out. You just say Lilo. And
Lilo.
again, like what I said,
Nag-Lilo ka na ba?
I like the sound of that. But it doesn't mean that you will lie low or lay low on your job, right?
Yes,
Of
yes,
course,
yes, yes.
we are trying to have this system, this software, this help actually, if I may say, to better uh, or keep our business afloat and processes continue, right? Okay, wow. All I can say is that this upgrade right here is definitely a must as we gear up towards the new normal. And by saying that, I think it's time for us to get the questions that we have gathered from our viewers. After hearing and seeing those things that you have shown us, I'm sure there are a lot of questions that they would like to be answered. So, are we ready now for our first question? So, gentlemen, this is for all of you. Anyone of you can answer it. All right. So,
All right.
first, question is, what are the required gadget specifications to operate Lilo? Is there any requirement for that?
Okay, so I have to answer that one. So for computer, you must have at least 8 gig RAM or maybe your laptop and at least 5 MP camera. But if your camera is less than 2 MP, you can just simply attach or attach a different webcam like what I'm using right now. I'm using a different
Mm-hmm.
webcam with 5 MP camera. And for
Mm-hmm.
mobile phone, um, at least your phone or at least it must be a smartphone with good camera to capture a good quality of photo.
All right. So first of all, of course, the memory of the device has to be sufficient enough
Yeah.
to run the software, and of course, the camera. Primarily, it's the main thing that we need in order for us to log in, log out, right? Using the camera.
Jeremy, I just would like to ask because
Yes, please.
yeah, the performance of the system would depend on the type of camera you're using and the lighting conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
importante na we take note of these factors, no?
All right. So
Camera and lighting conditions. Yes.
okay, this lighting, well lighted area, and
Yes.
of course you have to really position your self or your facial profile wherein the camera or the system can easily detect it. Like I
Yes.
think Sir Fran showed us or demoed to us earlier. All right, so I think we can move on to another question. Okay, from Alan Ray. Earlier, that was from Miss Grace Deason, and this one is from Alan Ray. Can a report be generated from that or from it? I think you mentioned
Yes,
it earlier.
I think it's
yes, it was
part of
discussed
your
earlier.
backend. Yes, yes. And if you're planning to integrate this or if you want to connect
Mhm.
this Lilo to your existing HRIS or timekeeping system, it's possible. So
Mm-hmm.
to make it more seamless and automated.
Yes, I
All
And
think
even payroll.
the most significant report from this system is the transaction logs. So
mm-hmm.
Yes.
the raw data which came from the time in and time out or log in log out of your employees. So it's being generated, yeah, export it and then upload it to your existing timekeeping system.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Talking about convenience when it comes to
yeah.
reports and gathering data, right? Or data, I mean. All right. So what else? Other questions, please. Okay, from Maria Josefina, keeping clamor. You definitely need the internet for this system. For slow internet connection, will it work?
Well, of course, as long as it has an internet connection. Though
Mhm.
medyo mas mabagal lang because the internet is slow, but still, you can still log in and log out using the system.
Okay, so it has just something to do with how fast or how easily the system can process it. So it depends
Yeah,
on the internet connection that you have. So the most important thing, guys, internet connection. It doesn't matter if it's slow or fast. As long as you're connected, you will be able to use this service or this system. Lilo.
Jeremy, probably the next question here, what if there's no internet really on specific areas? Because,
Okay.
because there are locations na talagang walang connections ng internet. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
We are also developing similar applications na
Mhm.
applicable for offline mode. No? We call that offline
yes,
mode.
we also have a offline version of this. We call
Yeah.
it mobile DTRS.
Mm-hmm.
So, pwede ring offline mode tayo. No? So, kahit wala ka internet, you can still transact no? Your
Okay, that's good.
time out. Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good
And
to know. Yes?
And siguro in addition lang dun, Jeremy, dun sa offline, the one that they're actually may concern lang naman regarding sa internet connection is yung mga kailangan, like for example, magla-log in through mobile phone. Pero
Mm-hmm.
syempre, the one deployed in offices, it can be done, it can be implemented sa office base. So pwede naman siyang offline.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. At least 3G yung connection natin for the internet.
Okay, at least 3G connection. Okay, so again, guys, so just to have a recap of that, um, we have two ways basically to access Lilo. One is through the internet, and the other one is even offline. So for office use, it doesn't have to be connected to the internet. So you can access it, you can make transactions even offline. But when you are on the go, you are in the field, definitely you have to be connected to the internet. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's good news. Actually, a lot of us can relate and are definitely interested, especially when we talk about those who are in the field and now that we are working from home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how about another question here?
This one, I think the next one is a series of questions.
All right, so let me read it for you guys. So,
Yes.
facial recognition from Mr. Benedict Ko. Okay, first, will the best conditions for taking the picture be included in the manual? We might need to retake the reference picture later on after the quarantine to maximize the reliability of the software. Second, in the case of an error, what are the tools available to correct if the wrong employee was recognized or if someone just timed in or timed out at the wrong time? Lastly, we cannot we cannot guarantee consistent internet connection at our factories. What can the system do in offline mode? I think it was answered. Just we have just answered that. But we have a continuation here for number four. I'm sorry, I cannot see most part of it. But for the first two, maybe you can already ask or I mean answer, gentlemen.
Um, Siguro on the second question, if there is an error, what are the available tools available to correct if the wrong employee was recognized or if someone is timing at the wrong time. Actually, we created another one, but it will be, but the one that we're actually launching now is a DTRS, which is Lilo. It's
Mhm.
another project of Filmetrics Corporation. We call it, actually, it's a perfect term, tool. It's timekeeping out of office and leave management. So that falls under that question. It's another product of Filmetrics that we can integrate with Lilo, the one that we presented earlier. There
All
is,
right.
there is.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr.
I'm
Benedict, for
answering the
leading us
number one.
to the next episode. I believe it will be discussed next
Yes,
time. How
yes.
about for the first one? Anyone,
All right.
guys?
Let me answer the number one. So, will the best
Yes,
condition for
advance.
taking the picture be included in the manual? Of course, we will. That's what we call occlusion, no? To make sure that the quality of photo na i-store natin or i-save natin doon sa actual client is good for matching in the future.
All right, and I'm sure that you will also extend your help when it comes to how to use and the know-hows of this system. If
Yeah.
yes,
Jeremy,
if,
just to add, yes, to the previous
sure,
questions,
sure.
what we're doing in the verifications, facial verifications, is 1:1 verifications. There's no way that my photo will be matched with Francis' photo because we're doing 1:1. For the
All right.
Yeah.
enrollment, yeah, for the enrollment, just to reiterate, no, we're doing the duplication. We're comparing the data against, we're comparing the enrollment against a set of database. So, for example, if you have 10,000 employees or 10,000 faces, you're being matched against 10,000 faces for the deduplication during enrollment. But for facial verifications, no, for you to time in or log out, we use 1:1. So there's no way that you will be matched with another person.
All right. So there's a very little or up to zero chance of getting duplicates. Is that correct, Sir
Yeah.
Joey?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And if there's any, there's a particular process wherein we can verify that. Is that correct? All right. I think
There's no way
yes.
that you will be matched with a
Yes.
different person because
All
we're
right.
doing
That's
1:1. Yes.
okay. Sounds like to me it's very sophisticated. I think it's time for us for the last question, and I think this is also the fourth question of Mr. Benedict Ko. Can we delete facial data of employees who are no longer working for us, but keep the logs for the dates they worked. And I believe this was mentioned as well earlier. So please, can you try answering it again?
Francis.
Okay.
Yes, sir, friends?
Actually, in our current version, since Iden Pro Lilo is a continuous development software, so this kind of um, functionality to delete the information in the database can be done in the next update of Lilo. But it's possible. It's possible. It's definitely possible.
And I believe, if I remember it correctly, when you were showing us the demo earlier, and during the demo earlier, you showed us uh, something like you deleted, right? You deleted a file or a data of a certain employee that is no longer working or active in the department. Is that correct?
I just
So it's possible.
um in my demonstration a while ago, I just deactivate the account, but the data is still there. So
Mm.
to delete it, it could be done in the back end or
All right.
where the IT can delete the information. But in
Oh,
our next update of Lilo of this Lilo project, we can include the deletion of information of employees.
all right. Okay.
So the answer is yes, it can be
Yes,
deleted.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes. And you
definitely.
can
Wow.
correct the wrong time in timeout.
Exactly. So,
Yes.
all right. So there's a way for it, and thank you for your questions. Of course, I as much as I want to go on with all the inquiries that you have, that's only the time that we have for this episode. And before I wrap this up, let me hear one more time from you, gentlemen. Anything that you'd like to say to our viewers there, our clients, and our friends? Yes, sir,
Um,
Leonardo.
all right. So siguro I'd like to invite everyone visit our page. Actually there's a lot of facial recognition and its uses. Actually this Ident Pro Lilo has a lot of use and functions. And I think kulang yung 1 hour to discuss everything in one
Yeah.
sitting. So
Yeah.
I think in a previews or in the next series that we will be discussing is the other functions of Ident Pro Lilo
Mhm.
as a whole, as a totality. So no, it's just an introduction.
All right, thank you, Sir Leonardo. How about Sir Franz?
All right. I believe there's a lot of questions in the page right now. So if you want to send a personal message, you can just simply visit our page and comment there, so we can accommodate you.
All right, thank you, Sir Franz, and of course, Sir Joey.
I just would like to tell everyone that as a company, we will continue to innovate solutions and products to help the community, the business community, mitigate or minimize the spread of the virus. So this is one of our core values, to be able to introduce solutions. We offer that to businesses, practically to help in the solutioning of problems, especially the spread of COVID-19. So
All
watch
right,
out
thank
for
you.
more technology updates, as
All right,
we don't stop developing systems similar to this kind of solutions. So thank you so
all
much.
right. Thank you for your time as well. As we all know, guys, most businesses already have a system in place to complete their work. And today it is, or it has become clear to us that switching or upgrading workflows or processes to a digital platform is the best key or solution to stay afloat. Uh, we will talk more about those things, those tools, on our next episode. All right. And we will send you a follow up email after this to alert you on the demand status of today's event so that you can review any material that you missed, or you may use them as well for your future references. Like what they said, for more questions or more details about Lilo, you can contact them on the information that are flashing right below the screen. And don't forget to visit the website of Filmetrics Corporation, filmetrics.com.ph. Why not spread the good news, guys? So like their page, share, and even comment All right. And I'm sure that you will not lose anything, maybe gain more. On behalf of Filmetrics Corporation and these gentlemen right here,
Thank you.
thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
And tune in again next time, only here on Essential Workplace Upgrades. Again, I'm Jeremy, saying stay safe, stay connected, and stay up to date. Take care, guys. Chill.
Thank you.